Hey everyone, I'm glad to see you here. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the new Islamic, I guess compound is what you want to call it. Oh man, I always got to adjust this camera. This here. Okay, all right. Now, we're going to be talking about the new Islamic compound that they are trying to build in Plano, Texas. But before we get into all that, I need to do all the normal, remind everyone to like, comment, because it tells the algorithm that you like this type of, let's see here.
Hi, I'm Vicky, Dennis's wife. Want to help creators grow without spending a dime? Hit that like button. It tells the algorithm this content matters. Drop a quick comment, even an emoji works, and boom, more people see it. And if you really love what you see, follow us. Your tiny tap makes a huge impact.
Hey, you got, I got tongue tied right there and was distracted with stuff anyways. But yeah, YouTube has sent out this thing saying that, hey, views do matter, but they really wanted us to try to push interactions. So leave a comment more than 3 words. That's the best thing you could do. Also, hit that like button and share, but mostly comment. Not just to help push it in the algorithm, but because I like talking to people. Why do you think I'm on here? I like to talk to people. Now, another way that you can help support us here and what we're trying to do. What are we trying to do? We're trying to push Christian content, Christian culture. We're trying to get the message of Jesus Christ out there, and you can help us do that simply by becoming a member.
The bag of chips, I'm not sure about this.
How do I become a member?
So you want to become a member?
Oh, membership? Yet. Let me click here. Yet.
That's great. I'm happy to hear that. Well, here's how you do it. Right below here, you'll see a join button. If you'll click that, it'll pop up this little members option page where you can have the option to choose 2 different tiers. You can become a member of the bridegroom, where you will get access to personal emojis that I have made myself. I'm not that great of an emoji maker, but I didn't make them myself. But you also get these little badges that I also made myself that will tell people that you are a member of the MNC family. And they're even color coded so that people can tell how long you've been a member of the MNC just by the color. Also, when I see these badges in the chat, like I do here with our good friend here at the MMC, Betty Flick, I will make it at a point during the lives to respond to your comment. But if you become a member of the Here's the Bridegroom tier for $3.99, not only do you get access to all of that, but you get videos, personal videos made for members only. And here really soon we're going to be starting member only live streams just for you. So choose your tier and become a member today. Thank you. That's right. That is a great way that you can help support us at the MNC in our mission to just get the gospel out there and to help push Christian culture. Because we believe that that's kind of where our country's kind of gone. Anyways, That's not the point of this live. But, our good friend Don, who is in the promo for that, has finally become a member. And just like him, I respond to members' comments. I try to anyways, live. Although I don't have a lot. There's plenty of room. But I also do want to let you guys know that I am working on another members only video. It's going to be about Calvinism, specifically about John Calvin and this whole Calvinism thing. That there is no free will. These are the people who believe that there's no such thing as free will. So we're going to do a members only video about that. Also, like I mentioned last week, man, when I started this live streaming, which I think we're up to like 15th, 16th, 17th. This might be somewhere right in there. I told myself that, hey, once I get 5 members, I'll start doing member only live streams. I'll start adding that in for my members. And I'm up to 4. If I can get just one more, one of you guys to hit that join button right below here. Also, I have some exciting news talking about what's right below here. It's a new shop. You guys should be seeing a new shop, new shirts and stuff. We have just launched it today. And I don't want any of you out there to miss out on the 25% off. Here's the bridegroom, everyone. Hey, I have some exciting news to announce. October the 6th, that's the first Monday of October, we have a website that will be launching. And what is it going to be? It's going to be shirts, hats, aprons, thermoses, coffee cups, and coming really soon, there'll be these cute little puppy dogs and teddy bears that you can get too. All with designs that we have made ourselves. Take a look. I'm wearing it today. Look, hey. And the first 2 weeks, there'll be a 25% off everything, you guys. Wow. 25% off everything. We're going crazy here. Hey, that's right. Take a look. Here's our new website, everybody. Look. See, with designs that I have made myself. You can come through here and help support us simply by buying merch. That is probably the best way that you can help support us here at the MNC and be able to be proud about your faith. Show everyone that you're a Christian and help us push Christian culture out there to everyone. Look, this is the hat I'm wearing right here. Look, right there. That's the hat. My wife got the shirt for this one. Yeah, look. And the t-shirt I'm wearing, this is one that Don, our biggest fan, helped me design himself. He helped me with this. And we just want to offer this to you guys as a thank you and give you a way to help support us without just giving money. We want to give you something back in return. We want to add value to your life. So that's that. And now today we are going to be talking about this new Islamic thing. Now, I don't want anyone out there to think that I'm being Islamic phobe. That I'm being some kind of Islamic phobe. I'm not. I love Muslims. I want them all to come to Christ. Yeah, amen. Isn't that the point? I want them here so that I can evangelize to them. But we got some things to talk about. Now, today we are going to be taking a look at valuetainments I think they call themselves the PBD Podcast. We're going to be taking a look at their video where they talked about this very topic. And I'm going to pop in and give my little 2 cents. That's the name of the podcast, isn't it? My 2 cents. So let's go over here and we're going to watch this first little part to get you introduced into what's going on here.
Brandon, I sent you what Governor Abbott said about the whole situation.
Thank you.
He said they launched investigations for violations of the housing and consumer laws. And Corn asked the feds to actually step in, that it may exclude non-Muslims and push Sharia law, even though that they're saying that it's not. But they're saying exclusivity. Then why are they calling it EPIC? You know what EPIC stands for? East Plano Islamic Center. Okay, you're in America. You're not going to have... this is Abbott talking about the situation. Go ahead.
Part by that statement, but also in part by information that we've gathered, there appear to be multiple violations that have taken place here. One is information has been provided to investors that appears to be misleading. Another is they appear to be in violation of fair housing laws. Also, we found that, they talk about doing all this building, but they don't have any building permits to actually do any building, and they have challenges even getting those building permits. Believe this or not, we've even received information that they may have been conducting a funeral home without legal authority. Bottom line, Laura, is that there so many questions arose, especially information that we received, that led us to need to call the elite Texas Rangers to conduct a criminal investigation to find out if criminal laws in Texas have been violated. Well, in part,
and mind you, this is you guys were paying attention too. They're the Muslims in Texas and some in Florida are literally buying up churches and they're building mosques. Okay, and then by the way, with this type of situation, when
now I wanted to stop right there. That's enough. This whole buying up churches and turning them into mosques, that is like a Islamic thing. It's something that you're supposed to do. I don't know if it comes from the Quran or the Hadith. If you know about the Islamic faith, you know that there's more than just the Quran. There's also the Hadith, and then they have a third book too. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but they it's where when they conquer or they take something over, they're supposed to tear down whatever religious I guess you could say buildings or statues or anything and replace it with theirs, build a mosque on top of it, and then they're not supposed to let it go. They're supposed to, I guess, fight for it. Not once they build their mosque, you're not supposed to be able to remove it. That's something that they also teach. I feel like I need to that down again. There we go. I'll get the camera straight one of these days before live, But let's see here. I want it to go. There's another right here. This is the post-millennial. DOJ to investigate 400-acre Muslim town in Texas over claims it would operate on Islamic law. Now, see, that's the whole big controversy right there. Although there are some other issues with this, we'll get into it. But let's read what the Post-Millennial has. The Department of Justice has launched an investigation into the proposed Epic City development in Josephine, Texas, a 400-acre project led by the East Plano Islamic Center, Epic, to determine whether it violates federal law. The move follows concerns raised by Senator John Cornyn, who was labeled the development anti-Semitic and anti-Semitic and anti-Christian. I am grateful to Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice for hearing my concerns and opening an investigation into the proposed Epic City development in North Texas. Cornyn said in a statement on Friday, religious discrimination and Sharia law has no place in the Lone Star State. Any violations of federal law must be swiftly persecuted. And I know under Trump's administration, they will be. Epic City is planned to include housing, schools, daycares, facilities, and medical clinics with the goal of creating a vibrant, multi-generational, and exclusive master planned community. The initiative has drawn criticism from state officials, including Governor Greg Abbott, who launched 3 investigations into the project in March, citing potential criminal activity, housing discriminations, and financial harm to the state. In April, Abbott ordered construction to halt, claiming proper permits had not been submitted. Now, see, that's what I wanted to get to, because they just came and just started building. Like, we're just going to do what we want. We don't need no permission. That to me is a big, huge red flag. It makes me suspicious of your motives. Can I just say that? If you just move in and just start doing what you want without checking with everyone around you, nah, we're not cool with that, right? So that's problem number 1. And then plus you heard Abbott talk about, hey man, they came in and started operating a funeral home without permission or permits. I get it. Even Jews have their own like burial things. Like you're not supposed to do an autopsy on a Jewish person. I get it. I'm fine with that. But to come in and like he said, just come in and just start doing things without permission, now we have a problem. So I also wanted to show you guys this. This is a map. Now they're saying Plano, but it's actually Josephine, Texas, which is I'm not sure if that's part of Plano, like the county, but it's kind of far out. So see, here's Plano, if you can see my little mouse there, and then here's Josephine. But I'm kind of concerned about it because I live right here. And I have a daughter who, actually, Celia, I love you, sweetheart. She's engaged, you guys. I'm excited. She's about to get married in March 21st. I'm excited, man. I like Greg. He's a great guy. It's a great thing when you like your daughter's fiance. It's a great thing. I hope that every father out there gets to experience that. But they live right here in Plano, and Josephine is just, as you can see, just on the other side of the lake there. Now, if I was to jump on 30 and head out there, I could probably be there maybe 45 minutes, an hour. Yeah. It's not that far from me. So this is why it's like important to me, because it's in my backyard. And this is why I want to talk about it. And it's my podcast. I can talk about what I want, right? All right, now we're going to watch another part of this PBD valuetainment short clips. Let's see here. Let's see what they...
Sounds of freedom.
Yes.
Okay, I hit the wrong button, you
Simple
guys.
story.
Talk about it.
Go back.
DOJ to invest.
Now, I'm supposed to jump over to 1032. My bad, you guys. Finger twitch, and I hit the button. So we're going to go right there. And now we're going to watch.
The Constitution about freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. How do you fight to say, listen, this is not going to, you guys are doing too much stuff in America. We're seeing what's going on with Dearborn. We're not going to let you do to other cities what you guys did to Dearborn. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, because a lot of the times they say they actually say they want to impose danger on us. But I think this reminds me of a lot what the government started doing in the 90s when it really started cracking down on militias and cults. Like, remember Waco and Ruby Ridge? That's because it really hit a nerve with the government when groups started to get together and buy plots of land and like hold weapons. That really freaked the government out. So, I mean, this is kind of similar to that. Like they did that under a religious tense like back then. So I think that you could apply the same thing to this. And they start talking about wanting to apply Sharia law, then that's a threat to free speech for some people. And then, that's has a nature of being infectious and contagious. So I think you could say that's a danger to people if they try to implement a fundamentally different law than we have.
Adam,
Now, that's a good point. We're going to get more into the Sharia law kind of toward the end. I want to explain to you guys Sharia law. I know it's a term thrown out, you hear, but what is it? What is it, right? We're going to take a look at that. But he brought up Waco, the Branch Davidians. Y'all remember that? I remember that. I was a kid, and I was like in elementary, and I remember coming home that day and seeing that on the news, and my mom and grandma and all them, they were just fixed on the TV with this. And once again, this is Waco. This is right here in my backyard, not far from where I live. I actually have family who live in Waco as well. So this was Waco, Branch Davidian. They came after him because they separated for religious. This guy, David, said that he was the Messiah. He was Jesus come back. He convinced a bunch of people. They all moved here, created their own little community, was trying to do their own thing, which, if you guys remember, what was it, Bundy Ranch? There was that whole little thing. I mean, we're not allowed to. That's why I wanted to bring this up. I mean, if we're not allowed to, and here's Ruby Ridge. Now, this wasn't even a whole community. This was just a single family. This was just a single family. They wanted to go off. Now, I know you might hear someone bring up the point, yeah, but they were doing more than just that. They were amassing guns. Well, we're allowed to have guns in America, guys. It's the fact that they were trying to do their own thing, that people debate over it, whether it was really about the guns, the pew-pews. Maybe that's the way I should put it, since it's on social media, pew-pews, or if it was because they were separated. The Ruby Ridge thing, the mom had thought she was hearing from God, and I don't want to get into it. That would obfuscate from the topic, but this was a pretty famous standoff. Once again, I think this was 92. I was a kid again. Yeah, I remember all this. This was around when I was 12, 13 years old, in elementary. Actually, I remember the Branch Davidian, the Waco one. It happened like right before my mother had passed. That had happened, and my mom passed away. So if we're not allowed to, if the government will come after us for doing things like that. And this guy at the end of that other clip, before we go on to this one, he was making a comparison to the gun thing with the Sharia law. I mean, if you want to say, okay, well, it's because, well, then you know what? They're doing something weird with the Sharia law, and we'll get into the Sharia law at the end so you guys will understand that better. But I want to watch this clip real quick.
This is taking our kindness for weakness. You know, you go and try to have freedom assembly or criticize the government in any Islamic country like that, heads are going to roll.
The Lemon campaign has become a massive hit.
Okay. Yeah, that was a short little one. But he's absolutely right. They want to come over here and do their own little thing. But you know what? If we go into a Muslim-controlled country, we can't do it. We can't do it. They wouldn't allow us. So how about tit for tat, you guys? Tit for tat. Tit for tat. You let us do it, then we'll let you do it. How about it? No? Okay. If I can get this to come up. Okay. Now, this is also something I thought this was prudent, because all the stuff that was going on in Europe, because Europe allowed it. Europe allowed these Islamic Muslim migrants to come in and just start doing their own thing, building mosques, making their own community like they're trying to do here in my backyard. And it's done nothing but cause problems. Now, like the guy said, we want to be nice. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I want Muslims, Islamic people who I have a mosque that is at the end, right at when you come into my neighborhood, there's a mosque right there. You can't get to my house without driving by one. I have no problem with them being there. I have no problem with them being there. One day, I've thought about going up there. I don't want to be mean or nothing, but I thought about going up there, just sharing tracts, talking to them. I've gone to a mosque and had them invite me in. I've gone to one of their services. I've done that and talked with them in there before. And I didn't do it at this one right here, but I have thought about doing that. But there is this famous case of the axe girl. Teen girl draws out knife and axe to stop immigrant from molesting her and her sister. Faces police action. Social media erupts in protest. Now there's this thing where they if you let's see here. Let's play this video before I go on to that.
Yes, you have a knife.
I apologize for the language, you guys.
No, show the knife. Show the knife. Show the knife. Show the knife. Show the knife.
Now, the crazy thing is that this video is actually from the guy. He's the one doing the recording. I guess he thought, well, I guess over there, and this is Scotland. I guess over there he feels protected. The story is that the girl here that you see on the screen, her sister in the little shorty shorts, the man recording, allegedly, I got to protect myself from liability here, you guys. He allegedly was doing something untoward to her sister. And so, and I don't think it was this day. It was another day that he did that. And then so the next day she brings this stuff with her, which is, I guess, illegal in Scotland, to protect them, because nobody's protecting these girls over there. That's what people are saying. Whether it's true, they're saying, hey, they're not protecting them. And I think it's because, I'm going to be kind of blunt, you guys. In the Islamic, in Muslim, you're treated the way you act. So if you, in their view, if you dress and talk and act like I'm going to say whore. It's in the Bible. Whore is in the Bible. I'm not cussing. If you dress like a whore, then they treat you like one. But then the problem comes in, okay, what is your definition? Well, their definition is any woman who's not wearing a burqa and not are showing any kind of skins. And if you go back and you see her sister in the little shorty shorts. Now, I'm not promoting. I would rather, I don't know how young this girl is, but she shouldn't be wearing shorts that's short to begin with. Can we get a little humility, ladies? And I'm not one, I don't believe that should be the way we handle this kind of situation. But that's kind of their mindset behind it. But there's also this other story which is, like I said a minute ago, there's been these reports. I don't want to read this. You guys can read it on the screen for yourself, and then I'll screen it off, so no algorithm problems. But they've been kind of hiding it because I guess the governments over there have kind of gone full steam into hey, we're going to allow this. And so now they're trying to make it look like, hey, we didn't make no mistake. There's nothing going on over here. So that's what this Reuters story is. London, January 6th. Reuters, a child abuse scandal has revealed how gangs of mostly Pakistan men had groomed, trafficked, and raped young white girls more than a decade ago, has returned to the political agenda in Britain following criticism from Elon Musk. Now, I, for one, want to thank Elon for calling it out, getting them to look into this. It really needs to be looked into. This is one of the reasons why this Sharia, I wanted to show this because that's one of the reasons why Sharia law isn't compatible with our cultures here in the West. Let's watch this.
Yeah, but let me tell you, the slippery slope here is our Constitution says freedom of what?
Religion.
Okay, so now in China, they took it a step ahead of everybody else. I don't know if you saw what they did in China.
They were knocking down mosques, weren't they?
But did you know what they called it?
No.
Okay.
Oh, mental something?
Yeah, they did something with it. Did you see this, Brandon, or no?
What's that? The girl that said you won't change taxes?
Yeah, no. They in China, there's certain countries that are saying we don't even want that over here. This is a challenge. It's not going to fit with our culture.
Yeah, see, we're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. Now, there's a bigger purpose behind this that I want to bring up at the end, but he's absolutely right. This Sharia law, it's like non-negotiable. It's like you do it or you don't. You go 6 feet under. It's kind of one of those things. So that's why it doesn't mix with other cultures very well. That's right. I wanted to come over here. We're going to go back to this screen because I need to bring up, we're going to get into what is this Sharia law. Let me see if I can bring it up where I can see it. Now, let's see here. I got to make this small. Give me just a second, you guys, if you don't mind. Okay. Now, right here, what is Sharia law? Now, I had a chat with ChatGPT about Sharia law, and I asked it what Sharia law was, and the thing is with it is there's no concrete definition of it from the Muslim community. ChatGPT says there's 4 main views on it, but in my research, I also found that there are others who say 5. So there's 4 to 5. I mean, they can't even agree on how many that is. Of course, I'm not hating them on that because Christians, we have problems with doctrine. We argue over doctrine. It's kind of in the same field. And the big difference is, okay, we have these religious laws and customs that by our Quran, they're supposed to, by their Quran, they are supposed to follow. And now how do we apply that? And that's what Sharia law is. And there are 5 main schools of thought, or 4 if you ask ChatGPT. Now, so with that, now I need to change. Let's look at another one, you guys. I have another one for you. Now, let's see here. Now I got to bring it up. There you go. So, now I got to bring it up where I can see it. All right. There it is. Okay. Now, components of Sharia law. These are the different components. So within those 5 that I mentioned earlier about the 5 schools of thought, let me make this a little smaller and bring it down over here so it's not in my face. Yeah. So now let's bring this back up. All right. Hey, we're professional here, you guys. Don't think we're not professional. Now, where'd my little thing go? There it is. All right. Okay. I'm having technical difficulties. Give me just a second. That's not it. That's it. Okay. All right. So you have 5 different, you have these different components, which is the worship and the ritual, which is prayer, fasting, alms giving, and pilgrimages. You see the same thing in Judaism. There's some of it within Christianity. Now there is these transactions and civil laws, contracts, marriages, inheritance, and so on. We have the same thing. Almost all religions and government structures have these same things. And then here goes the criminal law, theft, attorney, retribution, punishment, and the public order and governance. Now, within this Sharia law, they have all their little views. They have their own little judges and courts. So what these guys in Jasper or Plano, if that's what you want to call it, are trying to set up a Sharia law type thing. So they want to have their own governance. They want to have or not government, but judicial system. Now, with that in mind, I just want to bring up that, hey, us Christians have tried it, and the secular world has dinged us on it over and over and over again. This is something that, most especially the Catholic Church, with the priest, they get in trouble, they move them around, and they try to handle it in house, because there are passages in the New Testament that talk about trying to handle stuff in house, not to bring everything into court. Although it also says that, hey, that's the purpose of why God gave us these secular, so that we can use them to punish. So I do think that they ding us right. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. So if we're not allowed to, once again, tit for tat. The Catholics have tried to do this, and they keep getting dinged for it. You're not allowed to do it. That's tit for tat. We don't allow it for ourselves, so why should we allow it for you? So that's why I wanted to bring that up. Now, I also have, let's see here. I also have another one. I guess I could have came up with a better way of bringing this up, but this is the best way that I know. It takes a minute, you guys. So now, let's see here. Got to minimize that so I can see. All right. Regarding this point, as it is now, once again, this is ChatGPT. Regarding your point about Islamic teaching or book, Muslims migrating to other countries, because I had heard this, like that this was a teaching in Muslim countries and stuff like that, they taught like to do this soft coup thing. You don't go and take over a place by war. You migrate in, and you take over you establish yourself and then take over, which is exactly what they're trying to do in Josephine. They've migrated here, and now they're trying, and without permission. They're trying to do it without permission. They're just, hey, come here. We're going to start building. Don't need to talk to nobody. Just do our own thing. And no, we're not allowed to. You're not allowed to. But I asked ChatGPT about this, and then it kind of obfuscates that, there is a hadith in a Muslim book on governments. The hadith is a book of sayings that go with the Quran. I don't know if they're supposed to be Muhammad's sayings, or if they're like wise saying, kind of like the Jews have they have the Torah, and then they have a book that goes along with it for all their rabbis. If they get something, they have the hadith is that. And in there it says that there is no migration after the conquest of Mecca, but jihad and sincere intentions. So there is this passage, and ChatGPT, if you see right here, it tries to obfuscate, saying that, oh, it's a fringe teaching. It's a fringe teaching. But it's saying it's a fringe teaching, but we're seeing it on a mass scale, to the point to where they're starting to do it here, but it's been going on in Europe, China, and other countries over there, and they're already having problems, as before mentioned. Okay, so I think ChatGPT is just trying to be nice, and I'm trying to be nice, but I also want to be firm in the fact that no, we cannot allow this. I agree with Governor Abbott that we need to stop this. So I got to bring up this other one. This here, and okay. So let's hear Muhammad okay. So then with that passage from the hadith, you have to ask yourself, okay, it talks about the migration into Mecca, and Mecca is like the main city for Islam. They're all commanded to migrate there. I think it's once a year for a religious thing, kind of like the Jews with Jerusalem. They're all supposed to migrate, although they're supposed to do it multiple times a year. I think it's twice. all the men are required to go to Jerusalem, and Islam, all the men are required to go to Mecca. But I think that's once a year. So I asked ChatGPT, okay, well then how did Muhammad take over Mecca without bloodshed? And it says that he forgave. The conquest of Mecca is often held up in Islamic traditions as a model of mercy and restraint. The hadith you mentioned, there is no migration after the conquest of Mecca, but there remains jihad and sincere intentions. Now, jihad is a Muslim way of saying the Sunnis and the Shiites, and there are some that they debate over exactly what jihad is, whether it's just spiritual warfare or just warfare in general, or if there's some kind of bleed over it. So that is what jihad is. So migration before this point meant leaving hostile lands to a place where Muslims could freely practice. You know what? I don't mind you coming here to practice. Come here, practice your faith. I don't mind. You're just coming closer to me so that I can evangelize you. That's the way I see it, and that's the way you should see it. But to come here and to set up your own little governance thing, no, we already have that. We don't need more. But I want to end. We're going to go back. I got to go back to scenes, and we are going to go back to this right over here. As always, I want to give you some Bible verses. And the first one is 1 Corinthians 1. It is actually, no, this isn't what I wanted. Oh, 1 Corinthians 5. I don't know how we got it. Go. Okay. I don't know how I got on just verse 1, but it is actually reported that there is sexual immorality among you of a kind that is intolerable among even pagans. A man has his father's wife, and you are proud. Shouldn't you rather be stricken with grief and have removed from your fellowship this man who did this? Although I am absent from you in body, I am present with you in spirit, and I have already pronounced judgment on this one who did this, just as if I were present. When you are assembled in the name of the Lord Jesus, and I am with you in spirit, along with the power of the Lord Jesus, hand this man over to Satan for the destruction of his flesh, so that his spirit may be saved on the day of the Lord. So I'm 100% with this. It is okay to put people out, although it shouldn't be a continual thing. It shouldn't be something, or shouldn't be our first go-to. Oh, you did something wrong. No, we got to be humble and we got to be forgiving. But there are just some things we got to be hard on and separate, right? Like this right here. Apparently this man was not willing to stop doing what he was doing, and the congregation in Corinth there were kind of acting proud of it. He'd probably twisted some scriptures, or this, the blood, I'm clean by the blood. I could do what I want, grace, abusing grace. And he's probably convinced them of that. And so Paul says, no, that is not right. Put him out for the salvation of his soul. It's so that they can go on and see, hey, this isn't what it is. And so that they can come back and be like, hey, I repent. I'm sorry. I did my thing and found that's not what it. Hey, that's what it was when I grew up in a Christian home, went to a Christian private school. Praise the Lord for Westside Christian Academy. I went there, but my problem was when I got to adult and went out on my own, I went buck wild, ended up becoming a drunk alcoholic, and found out, and they did me, hey, just let me go. And then I came back going, oh, that's not what it is. And now I'm back and I'm here trying to tell everybody about the love that I have found in the Lord and the salvation and the forgiveness that you can have too. But we have to be willing to put the bad people out. Now, I also want to end with Ecclesiastes 3 because this is a famous one. They're just, okay, I know we want to be humble, we want to be peaceful, and we want peace. We want peace and we want to live in harmony with everybody, but there is a season. To everything there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to count as lost. A time to keep and a time to discard. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. Okay. I hope we're not into the bottom part. Let's hope that we're still in the season of peace. But how about we into these other ones up here? Like, let's see here. Where was it? A time to speak. Maybe it's time to speak up. Maybe it's time to say something. I have someone in the comments saying, Allah will bring upon you Sharia law. Okay. Good luck with that. All right. That's our live for today. I want to thank everyone for joining us. And don't forget, right below here, you'll see our new shop. Take a look at what we have to offer. Here's the bridegroom, everyone. Hey, I have some exciting news to announce. October the 6th, that's the first Monday of October, we have a website that will be launching. And what is it going to be? It's going to be shirts, hats, aprons, thermoses, coffee cups, and coming really soon, there'll be these cute little puppy dogs and teddy bears that you can get too. All with designs that we have made ourselves. Take a look. I'm wearing it today. Look, hey. And the first 2 weeks, there'll be a 25% off everything, you guys. Wow. 25% off everything. We're going crazy here. All right, that's it, guys. I want to thank you for joining us for the live today. And don't forget to hit that like, leave a comment, more than 3 words, man. That's what YouTube likes. Also, share this video if you like this content. Help us get it out there, and you can become a member. Don't forget, I am working on a members only video that will be about John Calvin and Calvinism. Until next week, remember that I love you, and here's the bridegroom. Come on out to meet him. Come on out to meet him.